we're going to get to it here. So
How's
There
that?
we go.
Better?
there
Yep.
we
Yeah.
go.
Look at that.
Yeah, well,
Second.
I asked them to put a slide in there just for an introduction for me because there were two other people that signed up for this that I don't know. But Lisa and I have known each other for a really, really long time. We're in Rotary together, and so she's come to Munch and Learn, I think, in the past for Tingles. And the other woman on the call is Katie Pinzon. She's a brand new designer at Tingles, and I just did her onboarding today. And so I thought, well, here she can learn about the Get More card in real time and get any questions that she has answered. So. Yeah, if you want to just jump right into it, I'm recording this only for two staff members, two clients that weren't able to make it today that asked for a recording, but I won't make it public or anything like that. So I just wanted to let you know why I was recording it. But
Well, we can let it go viral, Tara. That'll be
okay, that is totally up to you.
just send it across the world, okay? Because it's all good news
It
today.
is.
So there really is an amazing new era in health benefits. And there is this thing called health accounts that we're going to take the next 20 or 30 minutes and really explore this universe. And I know most of you on the call. My name is Nancy Melcher. I lead the strategy team here at MOR Strategy. We've been around for decades. So we've had a front row seat to seeing the emergence and the acceleration over the last several years of this thing called health accounts. There are old school health accounts and there are new school health accounts. And we like to think of ourselves as trailblazers in that space, bringing to the marketplace these things of great value that are affordable for small and for all employers. What's so amazing? Okay, so we can just keep going here because the world tells us that health benefits are costing more and doing less. And ask anybody on the street and they'll tell you healthcare is very expensive. Healthcare is very out of reach. And we smile to ourselves, Matt and I. Matt is my co-pilot here at MOR Strategy, and he leads all operations, compliance, the financial picture. So he's got that side of the brain, and I lead communication and strategy with our clients and with our employees. And what Matt and I know as it's not such a dirty little secret anymore. We know that health benefits can be made very affordable once we understand this amazing fact. And that is that in the United States, employer-sponsored health accounts hold an incredible tax favor. All health benefits currently hold tax favor. And that's because they are exempt from payroll taxes. So any dollar an employer spends on those benefits is exempt from FICA tax, 7.65% of that payroll, and FUTA tax. Employees are the biggest winners, and they save federal tax, state tax, and FICA tax, which we like to use the rule of three. One out of $3 that we earn goes to one of those taxes. And so if we could all earn what we gross, we could take home what we gross, we'd be able to handle inflation a lot better. And so everything we talk about at MOR Strategy talks about how do we leverage tax favored benefits to benefit our company and our people. So today's session, we're going to look specifically through the eyes of small employers. And many of us on this call are small employers. Some of us are larger employers. But whether you have a health plan today, health insurance or not, whether you have health insurance, an on-site clinic, all kinds of layers of health protection, there still is more that you can do to optimize the use of these tax-favored vehicles. That's what today's session is not meant to go in depth on any one of these things, but rather to inspire the people on this call to understand that there's a way to do this that makes perfect sense financially. So first and foremost, what is a health account? You'll see on the screen, we name our children. Our children have names. One of them is Get More. We call her that because the government gets less. Get More has been in the marketplace for 21 years. So it's old school. We have a plan called Reserve More that has an accumulation feature to it, which also Get More has, but Reserve More has a more prominent use of health accounts that can be invested and really creates a very robust vehicle for our clients. And we call her Reserve More because our employees deserve more than to have big medical bills they can't afford. So a health account, no matter what we call it, are dollars provided specifically for an individual or a family's out-of-pocket health, dental, vision, prescription, as well as things we're doing to get healthier and to prevent disease. So it's the most broad use of health accounts. We call it the most inclusive view of health accounts that we take to market with our clients and their employees. Why? Because the best dollar we can spend on healthcare is to preserve our health. So these health dollars could be funded either by the individual or by their employers, depending on the type of health account. There is one major exception. It lies in the area of HSAs, health savings accounts, which do not need an employer to sponsor it. I can go right down to the bank and I can set up my own HSA. I don't need an employer to be part of it. For the purpose of this webinar, we want to talk about an employer-sponsored benefit because that's what ties our employees to us, is being able to sponsor and provide health accounts that they couldn't get on their own. They need to depend on us as an employer. So these plans are generally tax exempt, no state, federal, or FICA. These funds are not a luxury. I would say 10 years ago, 20 years ago, certainly 30 years ago when I had a $2 copay on prescriptions, I could kind of handle that. I see you laughing, Lisa, because you have a memory as long as mine, right? And a $100 deductible, okay? You say that in front of somebody like Gracie and she says, what are they talking about? But yes, we used to have $100 deductibles and 100% pay plans after that. Today, the exposure to an individual or a family, should they encounter an episode of care, is financially unaffordable for most of us. 1 in 2 Americans currently paying off a medical bill, generally with an after-tax dollar and with interest, we consider a casualty. And it doesn't need to go that way. So the challenge that faces health accounts of yesterday, and even most of those that are done traditionally today, is each health account, those very specific ones, an HSA, a QSE-HRA, hold restrictions and are regulated by the federal government. We have diverse employee populations. Let's just look at who's on this call. We have young, we have old, we have healthy, old, I call myself that, okay. We have people in the middle of the life, we have people with children, we have people very committed to their fitness, to their wellness, we have people committed to their prescriptions, their dental work, their vision problems, correction, whatever. But how could we ever have a one-size-fits-all health plan? It doesn't fit the world we're in today which is so full of diversity. Now we layer on that people are part of a parent's plan. People are part of a spouse's plan. And now it gets real variable. So certain subgroups within an employer, we might divvy up and have that, but generally speaking, yesterday's health plans no longer fit, and what works for one doesn't work for another. We have narrow networks. We have people that have their doctoring outside of the network. So even if Tara offers a group health plan, my doctor isn't in it, and oh well, I'll go on my husband's plan. And that's the reality even in a group of 10 people. Half of them don't take it. So no one health plan or no one health account is sufficient to meet the needs, which are highly variable. So I'm going to spend some time on this slide because there are a number of details that are involved here. And again, all of this information is available at another time and place to do a deeper dive on what's relevant for you and your organization. But let me simply say, for the purpose of this webinar, we'll call small employers those under 50. We'll call a micro employer a group under 10. And that is a fast-growing group of people who are not currently under the Affordable Care Act mandates to provide health coverage at all. And so often we don't. Or we give them money in a paycheck and we say, go buy your own, which, by the way, is not considered a strategy. It's considered a default, okay? It's not a bad thing. It's just, it's not a benefit thing, right? We want to structure it to be a benefit. So these small employer options are growing with great abundance because of the hyperinflation of group healthcare. We just had one of our groups with 25 people on a call last week who just took a 32% rate hike on one of the biggest expenses to their construction company. 32% of a big number meant there were changes that had to happen, and to summarize it, people got less and spent way more, and they got a narrower network. I think there might be 10 docs, okay? I mean, it's ridiculous what happened. But they had no choice because they felt they had to, in order to compete in the construction trade, offer a group health plan. I would argue it's not benefiting anybody. But they're not quite ready, I think, psychologically to remove that group health plan and to replace it with individual plans. So you'll see here under increased small employer options, the thing called a QSERA, which is a qualified small employer health account. 2 criteria make it qualified. You have to be under 50 lives, and you have to currently not have a group health plan. By the way, that's a fast-growing segment. I think over 70% of companies under 50 lives have no group health plan. Long ago, it wasn't affordable. So the QSERA came out in 2017, and we have many of our employers on QSERAs. We like them. We wish they didn't have federal limits. We wish there were more things that could accompany that plan, but it is what it is. And again, it's not even 10 years old, okay? So a lot of people are adopting those in small groups and funding that get more card with dollars that allow those employees to go buy their own, pay for their out-of-pocket if they're on a spouse's plan, or use that money to roll over and accumulate into a health account for out-of-pocket medical, dental, vision. That's generally what a QSERA is. And ICRA is a cousin to the QSERA. ICRA stands for Individual Contribution Health Account, Health Reimbursement Account. It's governed under Section 105. HRAs have been around since the 50s, but these subgroups, the ICRA came about the year following the QSERA, so it's a little younger. And it's allowed in groups of any size with or without a group health plan. It too has some restrictions. But let's say we had a school district and we had one of those on the phone with us the other day. They've been a longtime client. And I'm going to quote the business manager. We need to take our part-time people off of the health plan. Our part-time paraprofessional staff have no paycheck left. They're taking home $112 and working strictly, that's every 2 weeks, for health benefits. That is a perfect candidate for an ICRA. They would carve out those paraprofessionals, they would fund money into an account, and they would allow the people go to the marketplace, purchase individual health care that allows for subsidies to be gained. If they could qualify for Badger Care, they could get Badger Care, because this is not considered health insurance. This is considered health funding to allow people to purchase or to pay for that out of pocket. Okay, so the ICRA we're seeing exploding in the marketplace because of its amazing ability to meet a targeted group. This would be true in a law firm. This would be true in a physician practice where you have highly comped people who could afford whatever healthcare cost. If they had to pay $3,000 a month, they wouldn't blink an eye. But let's ask the medical assistant who's earning $13 an hour. She can't afford the same health plan. So the most responsible thing to do is to carve them out under an ICRA, whereas the QSERA does not allow a carve out. It's just what we just said here for groups 50 and under without a group health plan. An EBHRA is a hybrid type of thing. It stands for Accepted Benefits, EXCEPTED, accepted. It's for groups of any size that offer a health plan, and the EBHRA accompanies the health plan to fill in what that doesn't cover. But it too has limits. So we love these for small employers. They are a step out of a nothing burger. So nothing is not a strategy. Nothing is just nothing. And it leaves nothing. Health plans, health benefits are Velcro. It leads the list of what real employees look for with a real employer. Some form of health benefit. 70-some% of people are looking for health benefits when they go to work for you. So we need to have something, but it doesn't have to be pricey. Now, if we're any size employer, the thing we love about health accounts in the 105 space, health reimbursement accounts, is we love the ability to be classification specific. So Tara has key employees. The ABC company has salaried and hourly union. We can by classification, people with 5 years of service or more. We can break out those subgroups and benefit them distinctively. We can combine on Get More and Reserve More, multiple plans. Here's a critical ingredient here, everybody. We can add an FSA, flexible spending, to a health account, flexible spending funded by employee dollars. The HSA, a Viva Trust, Health Trust, or the big one you see bolded here, health accounts that rely on an after-tax contribution. Why is that important? If you get a federal subsidy on the exchange, on the federal marketplace, if you take a subsidy, you can't have a pre-tax account. So we're going to gross up the pay to net it down to 200. Instead of putting it on their paycheck, we put it on a card, which allows them to answer the question on the Affordable Care Act website. No, I do not receive a health reimbursement account because it has already been taxed. We can move. So these are modern financial strategies. They are ways that we as employers, but also our people, can spend less and provide so much more. Healthcare benefits then become a fixed budget expense. The average we see employers funding to these accounts, 150 to 300, 350 per month. It's not 900 a month. It's not 1,200 a month. That we're talking about is traditional health insurance. And it's why a fixed contribution strategy has become, or a defined contribution strategy, the call to amazing new health benefits, this new era. We, as we do our daily work, are converting group health plans, which employers falsely believe the myth are better than individual plans. Who is subsidizing those group plans? You as employers, your employees' paychecks. Currently, the federal government heavily subsidizes individual plans. I think the statistic is 90% of people receive some form of a subsidy. Now, that's subject to change as we watch Washington dismantle a lot of things, but the states are rising up to talk about how they will deal with that because nobody needs or wants uninsured people. MOR Strategy, which is our company, MOR stands for maximize our resources. That's our money, that's our people, that's our creativity, that's our ability to be strategists at the helm of helping our companies and their people in creating a robust health benefit package that doesn't cost an arm, a leg, a heart, a mind, and your soul, okay? And we're happy, so happy Tara has become a client of ours, as we have been a client of hers, and that her people now enjoy these benefits. And again, this was all custom designed for them. So we are offering, following today's session, a free 15-minute opportunity for you to wrap your head around what we've talked about today. It's a big topic, hard to cover in a half hour, but we can get into the nitty-gritty of what this means to you and your company or a colleague at any time, and you'll just be able to click on and schedule that time with myself and Matt. So with that, we thank you for attending. We're just at time, and I want to be respectful that this is munch time or lunch time, and we're wishing you every good thing, but tell people the dirty little secret. Health plans do not have to be killing the paycheck, killing the employer. There are better ways, and they are amazing.
And Tara, we can be
time today.
And Tara, we can be here as long as you need, or if you want to take questions or whatever you want to do. But
yeah, for sure. I mean, if anybody has questions, I think it'd be great for for the sake of everybody. I know Colleen and Josh joined the call a little bit late. I'm so sorry about the Zoom snafu that we had, so apologize for that. We've been using the card since January, say March or April, February. I don't remember. This year, we got the card this year.
4 months.
Yeah, and it's been amazing. Everybody is using it. I mean, everybody. I've got two other people on my team, but everybody's using it for something completely different. I was able to use a portion of it to put a down payment on a CPAP, so completely different than somebody who's using it for therapy, somebody who's using it at Walmart to get aspirin and bandages for her son who's in, a motocross. So it's a pretty amazing card, and I think it's been a really great asset. Given that we did let go of our group plan, we only had one person on the plan, so we had to let go of it, and she was able to find a better coverage and least expensive plan at the marketplace. So it ended up working out really good for me and her. But yeah, it's kind of a cool thing, and it covers stuff that my husband's card doesn't cover. So even if you have like a HSA card with your spouse's or something like that, mine covers things that his doesn't. So that's even a bonus, cherry on top. So yeah, so I appreciate you guys coming and chatting. Colleen and Josh, I can also send you the recording so you can watch the beginning of the presentation as well. But does anyone have any questions before we end the call?
Here I do. Nancy, or Matt, can you give us your information just so that I can give you a call and schedule something? Because I have a health plan right now and very, very costly on a monthly basis. So just want to see what other options that I can possibly provide.
Happy to help you. Matt will forward
Good.
info.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Did you guys have a slide at the end of the presentation that I didn't see one, but that had
Did you show the last one, Matt?
It's just got a phone number. I'm just gonna put it in the chat if it's all right.
Oh yeah, do that. Yeah,
So
I can email you all too.
as we
Oh,
have
good.
participants on the call, which is unique, we want to say to all of you, welcome to the plan, and we're so happy that you're benefiting by this benefit. And to Tara's point here, it not only has done different things for each of you, but it will continue to bless you in different ways that you don't even imagine until you go to the dentist and it's like, what? Or you go to the chiropractor and it's what? I can tell you, I've been on the plan for 21 years. And this year I'm doing things I never imagined I might, strength training, fitness training, that now that I'm older and bolder, I want to be able to get up if I fall down. So anyway, we welcome you to the plan and to the array of benefits it holds. And again, to Tara for sponsoring it for you and for this event. We're blessed and
Yeah.
keep benefiting.
Yeah, well, I'll send an email out to everyone that has both of their information, and feel free to explore any additional conversations with them. And I just wanted to let you know we've got two other events coming up in this Munch and Learn series, and I'm planning on adding another one. Let me just pull this up. For those who haven't maybe gotten the email, but we've got next Thursday, I believe it is the 24th. We're going to have cybersecurity information is going to be talking about phishing and how to protect your data and how to have a backup and stuff like that. That one is also free. And then I'm going to be talking about search engine optimization. So if you have a website that is not being found by Google, I can give you some tips on maybe how to enhance that. And then one that's not on here yet that I'm getting a lot of requests for is if you have an iPhone, the Maps and Siri pull your company information from a different database than Google. So you need to be updating that in a whole different platform. And so I'm going to talk about that because 57% of the world uses iPhones. And so if your business information is not accurate, like I just figured this out because I just moved. So that'll be one that I'll be doing probably mid-May. So I'll send an email out about that. But
Great.
yeah, thank you everybody. And watch your
Thank you.
email wrap up from me, and have a great rest of your day.
Happy
everybody.
Easter,
Thank you all.
everyone.
Thank you, Tara. Greatly
Thanks, Tara.
appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jared.
Thank you.